Welcome back to day 22 of our 30 Days of Daily Play Challenge. I'm Brittany DeSantis, the artist and author behind The Daily Play, a 365-day art journal to reignite your creative spark. We've been diving into the world of watercolor. This is one of my favorite sections of the Start Here portion of your book. So when you look at the color coding, we have Start Here at the very beginning. Then we're going to get into the rest of the year of prompts. But the Start Here section is all about skill building. So just know that if this is your very first time painting with watercolor, that is totally okay. Yesterday we painted in our color wheel, and today we're actually going to be studying the color wheel a little bit and learning about color schemes. There are tons of color schemes out there, but the two that I always recommend when I'm teaching watercolor, especially to beginners, is complementary and analogous. Complementary colors are opposites on the color wheel, and analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. You'll find all of this on day 22 of your workbook over here, and I'm going to show you my desktop in a moment. But opposite colors on the color wheel, there's only a few that you have to remember, and so we're going to dive right in right now. So let's start with complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel, and they look great when paired. Grab your watercolors and paint these complementary color schemes to inspire your palette. Now there's only a few that we need to remember, but I think it's helpful to flip back to yesterday and actually use a pen and match up these complementary color pairs. So red and green are opposites on the color wheel, blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel, and yellow and violet are opposites on the color wheel. So when you're doing a painting, as an example, obviously red and green is the Christmas colors for a reason. They look really nice when paired together, but you typically wouldn't, have just as much red as just as much green in the same painting. You would want to have one dominant complementary color, so maybe you have lots of green in a painting and you add a touch of red, and all of a sudden the green in the painting just pops. So one of the pairs of the complementary color is going to help accentuate the other one. So you would never want to use them like you see here in equal parts when you're actually creating a painting. So I'm going to show you an example of this. This is a watercolor floral painting that I use for all of my workbooks, and I have a few complementary color schemes going on. So we have that blue and orange, but you can see that I've used more blue than orange because those are opposites on the color wheel. I have red and green. There's a little bit more red going on than green, and then I haven't done any true violet and yellow, but you can kind of see different shades or hues of those kind of going on throughout the painting. So if you go back to yesterday, day 21, where you've painted in your color wheel, hopefully you can still see all of your color labels through your paintings, because that means that you use kind of the right paint to water ratio. If you can see the labels, just use your pen and write them on top. You could write the word blue here, blue, violet, violet. And if you are having trouble remembering which one was which, just let me know. But you can kind of see them through mine here, hopefully through the screen. So the first complementary color scheme we talked about is green and red. So I'm just going to draw an arrow here. The next one that we talked about was yellow and violet. And the next one is blue and orange. So these are complementary color schemes, opposites on the color wheel. And because I'm painting with watercolor, I'm just going to take this postcard and put it right behind where I'm painting so that I know nothing's going to bleed through the page. And we're going to paint our complementary color schemes. The great thing about watercolors is even though, you mixed up some paints yesterday, you don't have to remove them from your palette. All you have to do is add water and you will reactivate them. So red and green, I'll just get a little bit more red here so it's more vibrant. So I'm just going to do a little swatch back and forth, red, and get some of my mixed up green here. Touch more blue. And of course, if you already have a palette that has green in it, which I do, but I just want to show you kind of the way that you can mix them up yourself, then go ahead and grab a green, but I'm just going to mix it up myself. So that is our first complementary color scheme, red and green. Then you have blue. We have our cobalt blue here. Blue and orange. See how I'm just adding water to that mixture and it brings it back to life? Blue and orange. And yellow. Rinsing my brush so it's nice and clean. Yellow. And bring that violet back to life here too. violet. So those are all of your complementary color schemes, opposites on the color wheel. And like I said, when you use this color scheme in practice, you're going to have one dominant color and one complementary color. So you're going to use one more than the other, and it's going to help accentuate the opposite color. And fill in day 22, complementary color schemes, done. See you tomorrow for day 23, where we're talking about analogous color schemes, which are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel.